Guess I'm toasting with a bottle of water.
Toasting with water. Listen, are you turning over a new leaf for
I
the rest
am.
of 2025?
I am not.
Okay, good.
I
Because
am
I
not.
would kick
I
your
am
ass right off this show.
no. I'm doing a detox, so I don't. Well, I just ate taquitos, but I was hungry.
I would say your skin is looking clear, but it's not. What is
And
your
I
detox
would say
for?
your body's looking skinnier, but it's not.
What is your detox for?
Um, impurities.
Oh shit. You'll be doing that forever. Yo, what's up, man? This is Last Podcast. We live.
Oh, what's going on, everybody? It's your girl Shannon,
It's your man Terrence J.
and this is
The
the
Last
last podcast.
Podcast.
And why is this the last podcast, Terrence J?
Because depending on what we say or what we do, this could quite possibly be
The last podcast.
I mean, something as simple as clicking the live button like 2 minutes earlier, something could be said on here that would probably get us canceled in 42 countries. Okay.
Because the conversation we just had right before.
Yeah. So but yeah, so that's why this is last podcast. So we glad you guys are here. Thank you for joining us. Understand that we are both live on our Facebook and our YouTube page.
Yay.
So we're stepping up, making strides in there, so you can catch us on YouTube. So please go to YouTube, The Last Podcast, and go subscribe to that channel and that page, so we can keep growing those numbers over there. So we are on both of those. So
You said I wasn't pretty today. We said I wasn't pretty no day, but I felt like today.
I was like, you just gonna say today?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was like, man.
Yeah, man, it's rough going today.
He was like, man.
I had to ask it. I was like, you do know this is not an audio only podcast, right?
Well, that's because they can't see the full outfit. I do look like I'm about to go to the washing area and
eat some chalupas.
And my kids are dressed in
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Easter dresses with
Don't do it.
British Knights on. But anyway.
Let's get to it. Make sure to follow us on Facebook. It is The Last Podcast 1. And on Instagram is _ The Last Podcast. Also on
but
TikTok.
That's the old generation. Like the old generation of that people, they would have never voted for how their new generation voted. Don't you agree? The old school. I don't want to.
I know you don't want to put them out there because then they'll know who you just said the Easter dresses at the Washington. That's what you just said.
That could be people who like to wear
maybe not. TikTok, The Last Podcast. Go in there and follow us. So we do appreciate you guys for following us on all of our social media platforms. And again, please go and subscribe to our YouTube page. Give our disclaimer, Shannon.
We will still be friends after the show, no matter what is said, no matter what is done. Official, unofficial disclaimer. If you are easily offended by really anything, if you're easily offended by fat shaming, if you're easily offended by MAGA shaming, if you're easily offended
is that one of our new categories?
Yes.
Okay.
If you're easily offended really by anything, then you probably will take issue with this show, but you will not like it. You're definitely going to like it. You're going to question some of your values. You're going to ask yourself, why am I so drawn to this show? Because it is a great show. It's a quality show. You're going to laugh. You're going to think. You may get pissed off. But you know what? But you won't get pissed on. So that is the beauty in all of this, right?
Wow.
So
R. Kelly just took a stray. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
we're not here to judge. That is not what we're here to do.
We listen.
Yeah.
We don't judge.
We don't judge. So if golden showers is in your nature, please, by all means, keep it going.
But please drink plenty of water. Nobody wants you walking around smelling like.
Does drinking water stop
ammonia.
you from?
Well,
the person that's doing it. Yeah, get hydrated. Water. Yeah, pineapples. Yeah, and that's not a safe word. Just do it.
Do you have a safe word?
I couldn't tell it if I did.
Yeah, I know. I totally get that.
Okay,
that's fine.
All right. So
I always wondered what people's safe words are, and how do you come up with
well, first of all, you got to ask yourself like what's going on that you need a safe word? Who knows?
I am not here to king shame because listen, Stuff that I like is stuff that I like, right? And I may or may not need it. My safe word is Barack Obama. Because I feel like if you said another man's name, he gonna stop automatically. So yeah.
Yeah. You would like Barack to say, Shannon?
I like Barack to say a lot of things.
Good girl.
Listen, if he ever tells me good girl, oh, listen, can we stop this show?
So no, we got bullshit to talk about.
Oh my God.
So did you do the whole disclaimer?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yes.
you did?
Yes.
All right.
Woo.
Yeah. So
My trigger word.
and again, those are the way you can follow us. But we're gonna get into our weekly rundown. We don't really have one.
Listen, so we haven't been here in a while, as you can see.
No, we have not.
And we don't know how to stop talking. Like we can't talk to each other every day.
And you know, here's the thing. Before we get into that,
yeah,
you know, when you create a show and you get a chance to do it, like with your best friend, right? And you're like, yeah, man, we get a chance. It's gonna be so much fun. Like unintended consequences happen. I only talk to her on Wednesdays. She don't respond to none of my memes anymore.
Not you too.
She doesn't. She doesn't. You know, I send her stuff. I don't even get the little smiley emoji like ha ha ha. So I know you ain't watched the shit. But you'll send me shit back and expect a response.
Do of course. I fully do because I know what I'm sending you is quality. But here is my problem, and you refuse to believe me. I cannot open anything anybody sends me from Instagram in my inbox.
And I stopped sending you stuff from Instagram because we're gonna do this right here.
We send it from.
I'll stop. I send Instagram to Instagram, but I send stuff to Facebook.
Don't send it to Instagram because I don't check my Instagram inbox.
Oh, that's cool.
Send it to my regular
Facebook.
Huh?
But stuff from Facebook.
You see my stuff from Facebook,
and I send it to Facebook.
You
can see
stuff
that
from Facebook. You send.
Don't
it to
repeat
Facebook.
my shit like you ain't hear me.
I'm trying to process.
Yeah.
Okay.
From Facebook to Facebook, and still, and I was like, "Yo, really?" Because I would literally like.
So here's what I want to say to the people who are watching, who have also, confronted me about this very thing.
First of all, I told you none of them matter.
Well, none of y'all matter. But you're not alone, clearly. So.
Oh, I'm in the group now.
No.
Oh, I'm in the group now. I'm back in the pack. So I'm general admission. I bet. Yeah.
Well, you couldn't fit through the VIP door. So here's what I'm saying. It's not done intentionally. It is. Oh God. So this is going to make it sound like I have a mental disorder. You know what? You can go straight to hell.
Because you actually have one. Several. So
here's what it is. I will see that somebody sent me something.
Mm-hmm.
And my brain registers, my eyes see it, but it doesn't register to my brain. Hey, open this. I'll see it. My eyes see it. And it's not until 3-4 o'clock in the morning that I'm up because I can't sleep. Is when stuff starts, when things process that happen that day. And it doesn't happen just with messages. It happens with everything. Like I will see people. When I used to go to church, I would see people and they would speak and I would speak. And it did not register to me right then that person was trying to actually have a conversation, right? Mm-hmm. Go ahead. I would literally, my brain like funnels through and processes the day. And I'm like, oh my God, that sister so-and-so was trying to have a conversation. And so now that's why a lot of my friends get messages at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning or people, whatever. That is because.
Oh, my bad. I missed those. Let me go back and look and see if I got
Well, I don't send you messages at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning because you're a married man.
I've been married for 16 goddamn years. How many arguments have you started?
Well, that's different.
At 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's different. Can we move on?
Okay. Yeah. And I wake up, get my morning started.
With a buffet of nothing but pork. Every morning he gets a full pig, and instead of an
my inbox,
instead of an apple in the pig's mouth, it's a smaller pig.
So listen, a pig eating the pig.
It's a pig. Eat the pig. Eat the pig. You get it?
I get it. Anyway, listen, I
Right.
told y'all we ain't got no weekly rundown this week. But here's the thing: we're gonna keep you entertained. That's what we're gonna
There's
do.
a lot of shit going on.
There's a lot of shit going on. So this is what we titled this show, right? Because we usually give you guys a rundown of topics and give it to you our way and how we see it. So we're gonna still kind of talk about those things, but we was like, we didn't really have anything specific that we were gonna go into because
Yeah.
there's so much.
There is.
But one thing me and Shannon was talking about is how we have been watching Black people in this time of calamity just be chilling. So we asked the question, where them fans at? Listen, right now, you know we focus on trying to get that damn dance down.
Listen,
and we like, yo, do we pop the fan here? Do we move? How do the men do the fan sign without looking, kind of crazy? How do we join it? That's all we trying to do, and we still try to get Tamil's dance down. So
still,
we chilling.
Listen, the country right now, in the year of our Lord and Savior 2025, 3/19, March 19th, right now, is crumbling. America is in shambles. In the words of my good sis Beyonce, America has a problem. And what are Black people doing? Where them fans at? I am so proud of us because we really took a stance. And I have to give it up to Black men and Black women. When we said that we were sitting down and not moving from our spot, and y'all can have this raggedy shit that we've been trying to save since its ragged ass inception, we meant that. And whatever happens, happens. So now we have different people who are picketing, burning Teslas, they're doing everything. And we're on the front line. We need help on the front line. Listen, Linda, call your other counterparts. Call whoever you need to call. Because Black people have thrown our phone in Lake Lanier, okay? It's
good.
Never returning.
We good.
We good.
Because I'm gonna tell you, man.
And we're really waiting on one thing.
And
you know what we're waiting on?
What are we waiting on?
It had happened in our generation, so I'm a history buff. I'm waiting for it to happen. Last time we saw something like it was JFK, but I mean, no, that man tried to the one it was a Hinckley.
Listen, well, what you say?
All I'm saying is, can the witches conjure up the spirit of John Wilkes Booth?
Wow. You know what? Here's the thing. So,
would you be sad?
Would I be sad?
Mm-hmm.
Sad for what? I mean, I would feel like Tupac did about his daddy.
Or how Shannon felt about hers.
I wouldn't miss Robert. So,
it's so bad for me to actually it's not. It's Robert damn fault.
But you know what the thing is, man? Yo, we are literally like going about our life like nothing ever changed, because actually it hasn't. And here's for the first time in this country, we're like, yeah, we know what that feel like. And the thing is, they've put us in projects. They put us in these experiment called the ghettos. They relegated us to certain areas through redlining and banking, not being able to give us loans. And we have thrived in a way that we could, now, according to the levels of economic, rising, and have we been able to take full advantage of that? No. But what we have done is we said, you know what?
We work with what we had.
We work with what we have.
And we made it something beautiful. But we made it something that is coveted by everybody around the world, right? Black Americans, we are the blueprint for everything. But let me say this.
Where the fan is that?
Take any other race, ethnic group, and put them in the same exact shoes as Black Americans from the very beginning, since we touched soil in 1619.
We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
Right. And I would love to see that. I would love to see.
It's getting close.
I would love to see white people. No, because they will never experience what black people experience, what black Americans experience. They will never experience that type of brutal genocide, rape, the erasure of a whole just lineage. I would love to see any other culture in any other race in the world, ethnic group in the world, or whatever. Um, Start from where we started from and take us through their journey up until present day. It'll be like Roanoke. Y'all know the story of Roanoke? No,
Oh, you're not talking about, I know, West Texas.
no, Roanoke.
Okay, okay. I just want to
So, Roanoke was a settlement that just disappeared. Nobody knows what the hell happened to the Roanoke settlement. Y'all think I'm lying? Look it up. Look at it's like hide and go see. One day you're here, one day you're not. That would be to me. I feel like that would happen. We are a resilient bunch for a reason. I don't know what the reason is yet, God, but we are a resting bunch right now, and I am extremely proud of that. I'm extremely proud that we are standing in solidarity, and a lot of it has to do with exhaustion. We are tired, and we're just sitting back because what we do know is two things. This doesn't end well for the ones who think it's going to end well for them. It's not going to end well. We've seen it before. The second thing is the reason why black people really aren't stressed about it as much as everybody else, especially like with the DEI hirings and firings, and you're seeing all of these middle-aged white people, older white people who are crying because they've lost their jobs. And I can't believe I didn't vote for this. You did. You didn't vote for it to happen to you. And the reason why black people are still getting up and going to work every day is because we have been conditioned to be able to do almost every job that's around us. We have to work 10 times harder. We have to be 10 times smarter. You don't think that the powers above know and understand who they have working for them? I'm not going to get rid of your black ass because you helped my company stay afloat. You, white lady, who I hired to meet the DEI quota, do nothing. You got to go. You, disabled veteran, you may have been able to provide some type of whatever because of your status, but you really don't serve me any purpose. You got to go. And so these people who have been under this protected shield this whole time are trying to figure out why me. And because DEI was for black people, that's what they thought.
That's what they thought.
But anytime, and please understand me when I say this, in the United States of America, anytime a bill, a act, any piece I was going to say translation. What's the word I'm looking for?
Legislation.
Legislation.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any piece of legislation is passed to benefit black people, please understand it's only because it's going to benefit white people way more than it's ever going to benefit black people. They put it under the guise of helping black people, and white people who don't do their due diligence, which is a lot of them, they automatically assume that this is to help black people. And so they talk down on it, like government assistance, food stamps, SNAP, all of those things that people associate black people or black poverty, black poorness with. The white people, of course, I'm owed this money. I'm a United States citizen. I can't feed my family. It's a different connotation when it's with them, but they think that the benefit is solely for black people. If it was not going to be helping poor white people or help white people in general, it was not going to be passed for black people. I want y'all to understand that. So rolling back these programs, the HBCU funding is hurtful. But it is what it is.
And just to give you the raw numbers on that, in 2020, non-Hispanic white people accounted for 44%, 44.6%. So that's 45% of all SNAP benefits. Of all of them, that's almost half went to white people. But it's position that is us that's getting it.
Yes.
And we're the one that's bringing down the country, and we're the one that's taking down all of the economic status as far as us giving out free stuff and having to take care of them. But they're showing you right here, the numbers show you that 45% of them, it's attached to a white face. I say that to say most of the things that happen in this country, if it's negative, there's automatically an assumption that a black face is tied to it.
Yep.
Crime, it's automatically assumed that a black face is tied to it. But if you go and look at the statistics, you'll see that that's not true. Welfare, automatically you'll see, a black woman with her babies out there, and they say, "Oh my God, all these black people are taking all this welfare." Well, that's not true. I'm not saying that people are not on it. What I'm saying is they're not the overwhelming majority. And you look at the states that vote Republican, a lot of them right in the middle, in the heart of the country. They're all Republican states. They're all predominantly white, and they all lead the country in poverty, in benefiting from welfare.
Poverty, low education. Because I know we like to talk about this blue thing, this red thing, but a liberal mind, people who lean towards being more liberal, they have experienced different cultures, different people, whether it's through travel, work, school, whatever. And when you step out of a bubble and you go into different spaces with different people, your mindset changes and you start to see things that you would normally see in Hicktown, Kentucky, right? And you're not threatened by someone who does not worship like you, does not look like you, does not love like you, doesn't speak, talk, behave like you, because you start to understand that the differences that we have really doesn't make us unique. And God created all of us. He didn't create the white Christian and the black Christian and put them in superiority, and the Hindus and Muslims, everybody are under us, or inferior. That's not how that works. But that's what's been told. That's what's been told and taught to Americans from the gate, right? And so when you don't elevate your mind, when you don't elevate your environment, you get stuck on this hamster wheel, and your parents were in poverty, you're in poverty, your sister's in poverty, everybody around you. That's why you see these small Kentucky towns, whatever. These people go into the military because the military is full of poor people. Rich people don't send their kids to the military unless they come from a highly decorated military family, and usually they go into the military. But please understand that there's legacy in the military branches too, right? And they're very proud to be wherever that is. And I'm not knocking that, but it's not rocket science as to why these southern Republican red states are so poor, so uneducated. And when you hear them speak, and I know you like, well, y'all just think people from the South are dumb. No, I think people from Kentucky are dumb.
You've been riding Kentucky hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you Hicktown, Middle Kentucky,
Yeah.
Kentucky,
Because I believe Kentucky is the most impoverished
so
state that we have. Is it Kentucky?
Probably. I think it's Mississippi, Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's one of those.
Okay. Well, Kentucky is number 3.
So here's the thing. So this is the point I want to make while we're saying this, because I know people will watch this and say, "Oh my God, are they sitting here trying to bash white people, this and that?" No, what we're trying to tell you is this. It is the poor whites and the poor blacks and Hispanics and everybody else in between that actually have more in common than the people that sit up on high and look down low, all the oligarchs and all the rich billionaires and all these people who don't give a damn about you. See, what you got to understand is that at his basic bare bones, most of us want to be able to support ourselves.
Support our family.
We want to support our families. We want our kids to be able to get an education. And we want to be able to say, yo, I can get to a point to where I can actually retire. I can own a home. I can afford maybe a car that I halfway like. And I'm not scraping by just to be able to get a meal on a daily basis, which is what a lot of people would want. I'm telling you, the people who sit up high, who have all the money, who are making all these different decisions, they want you to stay at odds with people who don't look like you. But the problem is you buy into the propaganda. And when you're sitting in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky, and you're saying, I want this out of the books, and I want this out of the books, what you're really afraid of is you're afraid of any type of unity because you understand there is a number that is published where you no longer become the majority. And there is a guy on surfing the internet right now. He's been making his rounds. And he said, hey, I do know that my race has been extinct. And I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure we don't become that, or not so much extinct. He said the majority. He said, because name me a place where we are not the majority that we're in control of. So his whole thing is making sure.
This is Jordan. What's his name?
I can't remember his last name, but he's like making sure that we stay in control because he does not want to lose control of this country. So what he is doing is using who he can as pawns. He will never, a person like him will never give you a leg up because he also needs to be able to keep his power.
Right.
I'm telling you, it's in the power of the people. And until we ever get past whatever stupid differences we have, understand, yes, your great-great-great-grandfather enslaved people that look like me and Shannon. It is what it is. She was in the house.
No.
Your light-skinned ass was in the house.
No, I was I was not in the house. Let me just say
you was on the porch.
Let me just say this.
You porch monkey.
The whole light skin, good hair thing in black people.
Well, I said light skin.
Well, go okay. I'll give you that. You know, you can go straight to hell. This is a sign of a crime. Okay, slave rape reaches far and wide. Still, this is not a badge of honor. This is a sign of a crime. That means that somewhere in my lineage, because we all know 9 times out of 10, black slaves were not eagerly trying to give it up to master. Let's just be honest, right? And so I really, and TJ and I say this all the time, but please understand, it may seem like we're being, funny or it's a comedic thing, but when we say everything ties back to slavery, and slavery really did a number on us. It did, because we have allowed the evidence of a crime, the evidence of slave rape to be a badge of honor, and we have turned against each other. We have made the evidence of a crime something that we hold and use against each other. That is what it. I wish we could all just really dive into really how much slavery.
But we can't swim because why? Slavery. We can't dive into nothing because
we can't dive. Thank you so much. I was going to say something. You had a good point, but now I can't remember it. What were you talking about?
I don't remember, but
listen, y'all, we 44.
Yeah,
it's
real.
And he premenopausal, so
really,
y'all see them
doing?
titties. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Listen.
The
hair came with the headband. Did the hair come with the headband?
No, actually, this hair is so old. That's why I got the headband on. I was going to actually get my hair taken out, but I'm going to a spa this weekend. I was like, girl, keep the hair in for one more week.
Yeah.
But see, I am not ashamed of nothing. You want to know why? Because I can take this hair out and damn near sit on my real hair. Clock it. Thanks, Paw. Too bad you didn't pass that gene on to your bald headed grandsons, but that's okay.
Because you got a high sitting ass. It's easy to sit on it.
That's not gonna go over well.
You reach your body like
Somebody-
this.
Somebody gonna see this and not gonna be happy.
Listen, I can't help you. You got the backside of Joe Holly Price.
Ooh. All I need now, I want some biker tights and a fanny pack.
Yeah, everybody gets strays on this show. But shout out to Joe Holly Price.
Shout out to
But the thing is, man, is that
my college almost boycotted our Black History program because the white people complained that John Wiley Price was a racist and race baiter, and they didn't want him coming to our school.
you know what? I'm gonna tell you this. For all of the things that we can point back in history and like or dislike about a person like John Wiley Price, there's usually a person like that in most cities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is always, willing to go to the front lines to talk about things that they, see or dislike or that the public is complaining about. And they always get this moniker of, "Oh, you're a race baiter."
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the thing, and I hate this part.
They only say that when we stand up for ourselves.
True, and I hate the part that we say race. I'm a race baiter when none of this would be happening if there wasn't a construct of race in the country in the first place. So you can't. So I hate when people say you're so defensive. Well, here's the thing. I can't be defensive until you are first what? Offensive.
Right.
And offensive, let's break that down. You are in offense of me. So you are somebody, you're offending me. And so the thing is that I now have to defend myself, but then I catch the jacket of being defensive. Well, stop doing the shit that you're doing in the first place. And I wouldn't have to act this way because we look at everything. When we look at all of the system, I had somebody tell me one time, this white guy I was talking to, he told me, I don't believe in systemic racism. And I was like, really? I was like, so all of the systems that are in place in America, from the banking to the school to the
this
jail.
Is a white person that said that?
Yeah.
Yeah. White people say that all the time.
So I said, so you don't believe in systemic racism? He said, no. I said, so basically you don't believe in a system of racism? He was like, no. I said, have you ever heard of a school system? He said, yeah. I said, you ever heard of a banking system? He said, yeah. I said, you ever heard of a prison system? He said, yeah. I said, so those are systems. And let you know how all the racism play into that. I said, still don't see how systemic racism works. And so when you try to play dumb at that, and so now you start to have people back at odds. And that's what I'm saying. You have to admit what the history is. To ask yourself this question. If people want to take things out of history books that actually happen, why is that? It's to program your mind that these things never happened so that you can live in some type of paradise.
Yes, they literally just erased Jackie Robinson's
military.
Yeah, and the erasure of black people and they're trying of black people and black culture.
They are doing our history like Sammy Sosa did his face.
Oh my God.
Just scrubbing all the black.
When you said that, I just saw it. Why did he do that?
Just scrubbing all the black off. Okay.
Especially when you ever no. I have a very, 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 very hard problem with melanated people who do not love the way that they look. Again, it's a socialized, it's a condition, because we are what makes, this is gonna sound bad. We are what makes the people want a certain look, right? The exotic look or the whatever. We live in a country we live in a community that has celebrated light skin this and light skin that. And if you take a white person and that white person has a baby with a Hispanic person, that baby comes out looking not real different from either one, right? Any black blood, anytime you take us and mix with anybody else, we create magic. We create Nobody can create that look but us, right?
True.
I've seen people and they're like, "Oh yeah, my father's Chinese and my mother's German." You're like, "Oh, really? Okay." Like a regular white person. Maybe your eyes are a little slanted. I thought you were high. That's that. But
Right.
when you when you take our DNA and you mix it with anybody else's, we're the magic makers. The skin tone, the hair, the whatever that is coveted through that comes from us. So my question is, why do we work so hard to erase what everybody else seemingly wants?
um to answer that question, you had people in your life that poured into you,
Mm-hmm.
um and told you who you were.
Yeah.
They told
And it had
you,
nothing to do with light skin.
they told you that you were loved.
Mm-hmm.
They told you your black was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
They told you you come from a proud race of people,
Mm-hmm.
that you have a family, you have all this other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are people who everything wrong in their life they believe has been tied to their skin,
Being
and
black.
they didn't have
Yeah.
the affirmation to come on the other side. And so you see these people and they're like, you know what, this would not happen if. And then also think
What
about
about
it. We
Sammy
came up in the
Sosa, though?
80s though. We came up in the 80s.
It-
Like the propaganda was like strong.
Very strong.
Like hell, listen, you can even be a certain shade of black at one point because they went until Wesley Snipes came
Right.
through. Black dude couldn't get on TV, movies and all this. Wesley Snipes, listen.
Actually, it was Sidney Poitier, but go ahead.
No, it was Wesley.
Okay.
Sidney Poitier got on there, but Wesley made it cool, right? And then you start getting.
Sidney Poitier was cool for that era.
We didn't know Sidney.
Y'all didn't know Sidney, yeah. I'm just saying,
Don't be so
it's not.
specific.
It's not that.
Don't be.
Okay,
Listen,
okay,
if
okay.
you had
okay.
went to Kimball High School in 1989 and asked Sidney Poitier, out of 2,000 kids,
Well, I don't
that'd
want you to
have been-
give it. I don't want you to put it at the feet of Wesley Snipes,
what I'm saying is his
because Morris
movie.
Chestnut was
He was not
black and sexy
He
too.
he was not before Wesley.
Yeah, but I guess so.
He was not before Wesley. It was Wesley Snipes. Trust me.
Well,
So-
between
But
Nino Brown,
but-
I was
but-
picking
but-
G Money. Okay.
But Wesley Snipes. But I'm just saying, in that era,
That's when they paid
came with the Morris Chestnuts, the Tay Diggs,
Okay.
the Diggs, and all those started getting more, and people started saying, "Yo, there was a shift in that, right?" So what I'm saying is the propaganda was so hard
But look
and
how long it took.
so. That's what I'm saying. It was so much to be what telling us what was. We didn't have a lot of the message that Jane Brown was putting out. I'm black and I'm proud. It wasn't a lot of that because intentionally, the movie companies, the music companies, they were trying to push a whole bunch of different stuff on us. Self-hatred. They were trying to push crime. They was trying to push gangsterism. They were trying to push all of that stuff on us at that time. So now you have people who look at themselves in the mirror and say, I don't like this. And also another trauma can come from even your family if you're trying to be something different and look different for your family, because I believe that's some of the stuff that maybe even Michael Jackson even went through, just from, and I could be wrong, but from the stuff he went through with his dad or whatever, it's like he wanted to change his whole identity.
Mhm.
All I'm saying is we don't have in every situation somebody like you had in your family that did that. And I don't know what's going on with Sammy Sosa, but I do know that one of the leading countries that do bleaching of the skin is in Jamaica. Now just imagine that.
You said it again.
Jamaica is one of the leading countries where they do bleach skin.
Mm-hmm. Jamaica, a lot of the Black Caribbeans, Dominican Republic. I know it's been banned. It's been skin bleaching creams or agents or whatever have been banned in a lot of countries in Africa, but Africans also, which I feel like is so interesting how imperialism and colonizing it, I don't know, it's the fact that we have been so sold on it, and it's not even us. The Indians do it too. because it has been pushed that the proximity to whiteness is greatness, and so you will put uh, acid on your skin to remove the melanin that God handpicked to put in you, that He saw fit for you to be this person, and this you give God a slap in the face because you want to be in proximity to an oppressor. It just doesn't make sense. I wish that we could go inside of ourselves and love ourselves more, more to say, you know what, I don't give a damn how white people look, because white people are going out into the sun and baking the shit out of themselves to look like us. It is such a weird dichotomy if you think about it.
So let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you just said.
It's a good conversation.
Everything you just said. There will be some that say,
really short
"How do you?" I have big hands though. Because you wasn't finna handshake me. Talk about I do not have short fingers. I have big hands. I just that.
Okay.
Listen.
See what you're gonna say, Terrence.
What? Oh, with all that being said, and what
44?
You just said about that, yes, 44 for real. Some would say, how do you say all of that and also see just the amount of money that we spend as Black people, Black women in general, on hair? And we would say, well, your hair doesn't grow like that naturally, straight, silky, or whatever the terms is. We usually have more kinky hair. We have hair there's more in matter to our head. Does that same thing apply to the beauty standard that we see a lot of women wear when it comes to different wigs, weaves, and everything else like that? Does that same apply where we say, hey, that's not our natural, and what we put on looks totally different? And I'm just asking the question.
No, because you change your hair. We can change our hair anytime. I can take this, my real hair. I can either wear it in my little curly mushroom fro, or I can straighten it. I can stretch it to where it's still curly but it's longer. So that to me when people bring that up, I think it's so stupid because it implies that Black women are the only women who do that. When white women, Mexican women, Asian women, they change the texture, color, and everything of their hair also. What do you think of perms are for? Now relax is what we get perms to make straight hair curly. They want super curly hair. They want a more kinky type of hair. So it's not. It's to me that is a woman's prerogative. Her hair, but it is not as drastic as skin color, because I'm not putting acid on my hair to change it forever.
Well, we have learned that the relaxers would damn near acid on the hair to make it, stay straight.
And listen, that was that was pushed on us because we didn't think that our hair was whatever. Thank you, Madam C.J. Walker. As somebody who, my mama did not want me to get a relaxer at all. Full stop. No, I begged. Me and Tiffany even snuck one time and let her friend put a relaxer on my hair. My mom was so pissed. She washed my hair immediately, and I was, oh God, it was such a heartbreaking thing. It's a big point of contention. But knowing what I know now, I would have never, ever, ever gotten a relaxer. And the last time I got a relaxer was in 2009, 2008. It was 2008, 2000. It was 2008 because I was working for, what's the home healthcare company? I don't had a lot of jobs. I know.
In 2008,
it was a home healthcare company right next to DoubleTree. Signify is also there, but I was working there, and I
can't keep it with all your damn jobs. I can remember a lot of them, but not all of them.
Because we do have a lot of them. Jerry curl changed hair follicles down to the DNA. Do y'all remember in the 90s when the girls' hair would grow and they would say, well, my mama put a curl on my
Killer curl hair.
and it's stunning my hair. the the most brutal ass one I ever got was because I thought I was gonna get a Jerry curl. I wanted a Jerry curl so bad. And my auntie did hair. She was a beautician, not a stylist. My auntie did hair and she was doing my brother was James, not Vincent. My brother was getting a Jerry curl and he was like, Mama said I can get a curl. I'm like, I'm gonna get a curl too. He was like, No, you're not. I was like, Yes, I am. I just knew it. I was gonna get me a curl. And I didn't know that curl was chemicals. I just thought you putting your hair in some rollers and you sit up under the dryer. And I acted a fool, and because I didn't get to get a curl.
Listen, I had one.
Did it?
Oh no, listen, I had one. You kept in the 80s. Listen, first of all, my daddy had one, right?
Was it juicy?
It was juicy. Pause. But you know, the Jerry curl bag, the activator, all of that, right? And so, you know, of course,
did it burn?
It was the closest thing you know, because you know, Michael Jackson was out. He had his hair.
Yes, everybody had a curl.
But here's the thing, you know, so everybody had a curl, and I'm gonna tell you, my dad drove a Dart. He was a bus driver in Dallas, Texas. That didn't have a curl.
And here's the reason why I had a curl. I was so tired because listen, I had a very old school mother. Okay, we were already 36 years apart. Let's just say that. Okay.
Look at the comment. Hey, listen.
And so I was tired of the, you know, the fat ponytails, which is so pretty now, but as a kid I just wanted to wear my hair down, you know, and I felt like the Jerry curl was because, you know, you get your hair pressed, but a press for me didn't last maybe 2-3 days, if that. And so, and you only got your hair. I only got my hair pressed for Easter and for the Christmas program at church. Okay, and pictures. So it was 3 times a year. And so I was like, okay, if I get a curl. Because all my friends had curls. Yeah, their curls stopped right there, but at least they get to wear their hair down. So I was like, yeah, I'm getting me a curl. I never got that curl. Thank you, Mama.
And you know, so I know you guys are looking at the title behind us. We're saying where the fans at. Yo, we're just saying that as we're having these conversations, Black people are chilling across this country, having normal conversations, living our lives, having a great time, learning where the fans at, dance, going out to brunch, doing what we do. We ain't going to your front lines. Y'all crying on the internet. Where's the Black women? The Black women ain't there. And guess what? We tell them, hey, sit down. Listen, don't go around there with them fools. Y'all good. We chilling.
And let me just say this to Black men. Thank you. I still stand corrected. I didn't know what y'all was going to do in the election. TJ and I just had a conversation about this. Y'all showed up. Y'all showed out. And I appreciate that. And I also appreciate that you guys are still standing in solidarity with us, because Black men and Black women together, collectively, are sitting this thing out. Now, we still have some, you know, on the other side.
Count them.
Who, you know, got their MAGA hats and all that. Let them listen. I have said this from the very beginning that Donald Trump is literally taking Hitler's playbook and going line by line, right? And it used to infuriate me because nobody saw this. Like we've seen this before. How come? But I was like, you know what? I know how this plays out. Let it roll.
And I'm telling you, what we are doing right now is one. Like I said, we're having a lot of conversations about what solidarity look like, right? Now, quick question before we get out of here. I got to ask you this.
Let it be a good one.
It is.
Okay.
Black women.
Yes.
Said.
We
ain't going to Target. Right? Target, this what y'all doing?
Listen.
We ain't going to Target. No, hold on.
I was just pulling up Target. We're two girls in sync. My bad. I saw the titties. I got confused. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Adam Apple. Let me show the camera.
That's not Adam Apple. That's called fat.
Black women said they're not going to Target, and I need to get the closest thing to a black woman opinion, and you all I got.
Oh no!
So
You're not even coming
listen
my blackness.
to
I'm
what
the blackest person you know. Tell the truth.
it wasn't the black I was talking about. But as a quasi woman, black women say they won't go to Target. All right, let me get this out. And all of a sudden, I don't know how this happened. Shout out to the platform that you got. How did your boy Jamal Bryant become the face of this thing? Shout out to his platform. He's in solidarity support. But my whole thing is, I'm like,
how you better watch it, Kenneth Boston.
How she's very light, not a little.
No, I'm not.
There's nothing little about.
I am medium brown.
So have you noticed that?
No, I haven't seen Jamal Brown.
Okay, so he was all on the Breakfast Club talking about the 40 days of boycotting Target. He's been on his podcast. He's been out there. It looks like he is the leader of this.
I don't listen to Jamal Brown because his wife is way too light skinned for me.
That's a whole nother show.
Okay.
And we talked about that before. We ain't gonna do it. All right. Your self-hatred about light skinned people.
I don't.
But
it's not self.
Listen, y'all.
So what you're saying is we don't need Jamal Bryant as our face, but it's always Al Sharpton, Benjamin Crump, Jamal Bryant.
I'm not saying that he cannot be an ally in this thing, but black women said they're not going. Right? My whole thing, if I had the platform as big as a Jamal Bryant, right, I would look and say, hey, I got the name, I got the platform, but hey, sis, I need y'all to come.
Well, Jamal Bryant is a narcissist. Why would he pull somebody else in to take the shine off of him?
But what I'm saying is, you said earlier about black men saying something, holding people accountable.
This is you holding Jamal Bryant accountable?
Bro, I've seen you talk. Bring some sisters up there with you
and they better not be light skinned.
Bring some black women up there. We are not going to discriminate.
We are.
You was about to vote for a whole light-skinned ass president.
It was different.
Listen, stop moving the goalposts.
If she was married to a black man, I wouldn't vote for her.
Charleston White said that too.
Charleston White been snitching since he was 16.
He said he know that she know how to listen because she married to a white dude. He said because a black man can't tell a black woman nothing. That was funny, but
that's not funny. But no. So I'm glad you brought up Targets because as you were, I didn't know what you were about to say, but I was bringing up Target at the same time. Mm-hmm. We're so in sync as girls.
Say it.
So I just wanted to reiterate two things. We have purchasing power out of this world. Okay. We have the ability to move the needle for real, right? Target lost over $1 billion last quarter, and it just came out today that foot traffic is down, is steady declining, and it is because we decided in solidarity that we were not going. Now, I'm not saying it's just all black people, because a lot of white women stood it. It's like no too, right? And some white men. But I also want to say this. They talk about black people, if we live in the hood or whatever, but there is money in the hood. There is money in the hood, right? Mm-hmm. Am I lying?
No, there's money.
There is a lot of money in the hood. What would happen if we all aligned on one accord in solidarity collectively and really put our money together, our thoughts, and became a very, very strong, cohesive unit with movement? Because it doesn't take it. You see what we did to Target, seriously, and the shareholders are pissed.
But let's not forget what we did to Walmart in Oak Cliff.
It's not even there no more.
So I'm saying
Walmart is gone.
So what I'm saying is, there's money, there's other issues, right? We can put something there. and we can rob it blind. What I'm saying is,
Well, I don't.
if we are going to put something there, let's address all of it. Let's put it on the table and say, yo, we have to put something here and we have to protect something.
Yeah.
We have to stand for something. We have to say, no, we're not doing that here. Here's the thing. If you want to do something, man, go over there and do it. Don't do it here, because we have to learn a sense of pride of saying we're protecting our own. And I'm not going to allow you to come in here and take away from us, because when you take away from us, you take away from our grandmothers, you take away from our moms, our dads, our uncles, our kids, because now we have to now travel. And for the people who are around us who don't have the transportation to get where they need to go, they don't have something locally to go to. So if we're going to have something, we're going to build something, because what I don't like is that in just about every city in America, there is somewhat of a business district catered to other ethnicities. There's an Asian business district, big signs here in Dallas. You go to other cities, you go to Chinatown, you go to this. There is no place that I have been to that has an area that says, yo, this is us, this is our business, this is where we shop, this is where we spend our money circulates here, and it before it goes anywhere else. And I want designated signs. This is where you come. I don't care what we call it, Little Africa. I don't give a damn. But we need to have something like everything else. We can call it Black Wall Street in every city. Whatever the case may be, we need to have something there. But I do have to point out something also, lastly. We were talking about Target. Target at one point, we were talking about how they were going to invest in these Black businesses and be able to give money to these companies to go into there, right?
Yeah, it was performative.
Two things. One, I don't know how true it is, but I did see a brother online saying that he knew somebody who was an executive at Target that said they were losing some money on some of those businesses. And what he was trying to tell Black people, hey, if you have a business, don't so much take a business and only market it to us because your niche gets too small, right? That's one side of this argument I'm talking about. The other side of this argument, because we were talking about like Jamal Brown and pastors and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, whoever dumbass pastor ideal it was to take his church out to Target in the midst of us saying we ain't gonna go there to say we're gonna go over here and buy Black. Each one of them damn Black companies got a website. You took your whole church.
Does Tabitha have a website?
I'm pretty sure Tabitha got more ways to buy her seasoning than Target. So what I'm saying is,
I don't know. That was a conversation.
Well, here's the thing. Okay.
I'm not saying yes or no.
Here's the thing. Okay, Tab. Here's the thing. We love you. Very good. We love you, sweetheart. There's going to be some casualties of war. And Tabitha, you can make some money online with Black people across America and still be okay, right? And if so happens, I don't know, if Target owns your product, that's what your boy Darius Cooks was trying to have his whole thing saying. But if Target owns your product and you can no longer make that money to Target, trust me, we're going to support you in the other areas. You're going to be okay. Yeah. So what I'm saying is he took his whole congregation out there and they went and flooded Target. And I was like, this is the damn problem. You got to understand. Remember, I'm going to tell you, yes, a lot of our civil rights organizations started back in the day in churches. And I think churches need to have some more prominent roles and be able to do this. But let's also remember right here in Dallas, Texas, it was the preachers who did not want Martin Luther King to come here because they were getting treated good by the white folk. And they were like, Martin Luther King, please don't come out here and start no trouble.
Let's talk about it. Martin Luther King was only great to Black people after he died. A lot of Black people, the way that Yuku Shanks came after Kamala, that's how they treated Martin, but times 10,
But in Dallas history, they literally got together and said, "Do not allow him to come."
It's not surprising. That's what I'm saying. It's not surprising because this is gonna sound so bad, but
You're gonna say it anyway.
Yeah, I am. In your mind, you think, well, dang, why couldn't we stand in solidarity? Because black people are still the black Americans are still Americans. We are conditioned to be capitalist, okay? And those black people who didn't want Martin Luther King to come, they didn't want their money messed up.
No, but they didn't want to cause trouble with Master.
With Master,
And
because causing trouble with Master does what?
It messes with your money.
Yeah.
And then what happened is they had started giving them areas like Hamilton Park and Nice Areas, like, hey, y'all can go over here, y'all can stay and build your stuff. And it's like, you know what? Master Trees is nice. And you know, bring that race beta to Dallas
My mama
and cause trouble.
When before James and I were born, but my mama and Vincent lived in Hamilton. They was rich before we got here.
You know, dealing with you.
Shut up.
One would go for.
I do want to say,
okay.
I have two things to say. I'm not going to talk about it today, but I do want to tell the real story of America, because something you said earlier about the Mayflower, that is a complete bullshit lie. And I really want to start telling these real stories of America, because we have this Disney rose-colored glasses on America, and these people who were fighting this religious oppression came on the Mayflower and landed on Plymouth Rock, and they were these Puritans. That is not how that started. I'm not gonna get into it today, but I can do a whole 25-part series on.
Could you now? Would alcohol be involved?
Yes. You shut up. And my last thing I want to say, and this is for Kanye West and Kanye West only. Fuck you in the most disrespectful way. And I hope you get everything that you deserve. And this is
the last podcast. Hey, shout out to you guys.
Man, y'all showed up tonight.
They showed up tonight. You know what? We do appreciate you guys. Again, we were on YouTube and Facebook. Yeah. So we thank you guys. If you have not went to YouTube to go subscribe to our page, please go over there and subscribe to our page. Click it. It is the last podcast on YouTube. You can go in there and find it. Again, _ the last podcast on Instagram and the last podcast 1 on Facebook. So that's how you follow us. So shout out to you guys for checking us out. Shout out to
Joe. Shout out to Kenneth.
Yes.
Shout out to Jacob. Shout out to Mimi, Amelia. That's my sister. We fuss and fight.
Hey, Kenneth. Yo, man, listen. We dish out the jokes and we take them, man. I appreciate you jumping in the comment section and said I look like Vampire Brooklyn
and
with my Jerry curl.
But Kenneth Boston, you gonna respect my melanin, okay? For the last time.
It's not there to be respected. We are not the same.
Turn your arm over.
Turn my arm. The side with no sun. It's still darker than you.
Yeah, that's because you eat a lot of blackberries.
You know what? We'll see you guys next week.